going to try to do some XP in. Wow, like one hit. Something toots on me and I'm dead. It's not good. Hey, what's going on, Robbie? How you doing, bud? Let's turn up the volume here. Good, just chilling? Nice. I like to hear it. How about you? I'm doing all right. Just kind of getting up for the day, waking up, you know? Wake up in Eminem. You're winding down. All right, all right. You over in the EU side of the world? You said you were getting wood, Cam? Okay. Yeah, I've got tons of, or 0 health. I'll try to swing in and grab some if I can. If I get any, like if something sneezes on me, I'm dead. Because I forgot that when you res now, you have like no health. Yeah, they should at least give you like 1/3 of your health, I think, right? Like you literally start with like 1. I don't know. West Coast, gotcha. You're in Seattle. All right, all right. All right. All right. Let's see. Someone res you. Now you have minimal HP. Yeah. You get a res. You go down to like 1 health or something. It's really low. I don't know how much you get, but it's really low. So now I'm just having to run back to town with low HP. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's is what it is. But I need to get some wood on the way though. So I was reading some stuff. Apparently, Reddit is popping off. People are starting to find the game, starting to become an issue. You know, the game's getting popular, more and more popular. I know, right? That'd be the best way. Oh, yeah, I would just do that. Interesting crossroad, yeah, it is. You know, it's a tough situation. I've been telling the devs and talking to people about it a lot, and you know, it's gonna be an uphill battle all the way for everybody involved. Hey, what's going on, Oasis? Thoughts on the Reddit drama? You know, I haven't read through it all. I did notice it this morning. I briefly looked at it. Apparently, I'm even being called out, which is understandable. You know, I call myself out. So I think it's funny that people are calling me out, literally repeating the things that I've said about myself, like quoting me effectively. And it's like, yeah, that's me. That's me. I know. I get it. I don't know. It's a whole thing, you know. You gotta be able to just brush it off and just kind of move forward. It's it's okay. I don't mind. You know, everybody has a right to their opinion. All right, I've got 11 on me. I'm trying to get to town, though, before I die again. Stop to get a little bit, but not much. Yeah, I don't know. I might scroll through the drama at some point. Yeah, somebody sent me a message this morning about it. They're like, "Hey, you're famous now," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know." I guess I'd be more infamous, right? No. Yeah, the majority of the hate is directed at a different person, but in that same thread, people said something about me, and then there's another thread. I don't know, because somebody said about a streamer, right? They didn't put their name in there, and then people were guessing who that was. So yeah. And then, so my name came up, and I was like, you know, guys, it's whatever. You know, I get where people are coming from. People they're antsy, they're anxious, they want to play the game, they just want to get in. Then you have the people that are just behind a keyboard that think it's funny to start drama. Then you got all sorts of different types of people out there. You know, some people have valid reasons, some people don't have valid reasons. It just all depends. Are you at the lower spot, Isar? You know, I get it. I've been on both sides of it. I've been on the other side where I'm like, this person's terrible and this person's terrible. You know, it all comes out in the end. You know, if you look at somebody and their actions in a bubble, you know, of course it's not going to look great. Okay, let's see. What can we do here? Alright, so we do that. Put that away. Put that away. My bank is all crazy today. Alright, we can get rid of that, and then can we disenchant this one? No, we can't disenchant that one. So let's put that in there. Let's put that in there. We'll put that in. I never bought another bag for the gems. Okay. That should be good. I hope. I hope. I hope. Boo doo boo doo boo boo. Oh. Is that Gith right there? It is. It is. It's the man that I need right now. Let's see. Let's peruse. Here, I'm gonna peruse Reddit over here for a second. We're waiting for people to get over here so we can actually do stuff. Yeah, it's just crazy to me, like, how antsy people are getting about stuff. Antsy in their pantsy. Sean commented. Yeah, people comment. I mean, Sean comments a lot. You know, that's something I like about Sean, honestly. Which one did he comment on? The one about the other streamer being toxic, being a toxic player because he left the group. Like, I mean, I understand where people are coming from. I see both sides of it. in that situation. Um, you know, if you are in a group, there is group etiquette, you know, and sometimes it's helpful to find a replacement, but at the same time, you know, you don't always have to find a replacement. You know, it depends on the perspective. It depends on the group. It depends on what's been going on in the group the whole time. There's a lot of factors there. Same thing with the decaying skeleton comment or thing that people post or whatever with the GM, and there's multiple factors that are happening. So I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I think the newest one is your reputation starts now. Post. That was under Eminem rants, and then they put it over. Yeah, it's just nuts, man. You just got to stay away from that stuff. They deleted the big post from last night, did they? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Sean. So I think the actual team is a like isn't the Monsters of Memories Reddit run by the actual Monsters of Memories devs, like the actual team? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I'll read through it later if the need arises. But you know, I'm just gonna honestly just brush it right off and move on. It's it's funny. People call me out for being a complainer, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I get that. I complain sometimes. I kind of whine a little bit, you know, now and then. I'm not happy with literally everything in the game. There's things that I dislike. You guys have a group going or no? I'm not. Oh, it must have bugged out. I'm not in I'm not in a group. Oh, now I'm in a group. That's weird. Nope. Wait a minute. Now I'm just being what the heck? Yeah, here. I invited you. Yeah, like literally we weren't in a group, and then I invited Gam, and then it put us in our group temporarily, and then he joined, and then it was like no group again. That was weird. Maybe we'll get quadruple XP. It is, yeah. We need to discuss that again somewhere. Yeah, they increased the 5 and 6 player from abysmal to, you know, like okay, I guess. Like the solo XP is clearly just better. And that's why some of these solo players were leveling so fast. And then I also think why the guy yesterday, the streamer yesterday that was getting flamed for leaving the group because he wasn't getting any XP, that's why. It's because, you know, that was the first time I think that he had grouped up with a full party of 6. I don't know that for a fact, but it seems that way. Yeah, when you're used to getting like normal, like fast XP with solo, duos, trios, and then all of a sudden you get like terrible. It's like it's a drastic change. Hey, what's going on, Schnaps? How are you doing, bud? I'll put a fire down. Where do we put the fire down so it's not like in the thing? Are we going to go inside or are we going to stay out here in this pool? Because it doesn't look like anybody's over here. Yeah, there's going to be the workers, which are going to be light blue. There's like one worker here. Well, depending on how deep we go, there's two. But yeah, one thing I like about Sean, kind of going back to that, is, you know, Sean's a very blunt guy. You know, he's very like just kind of in your face blunt, and he doesn't really care that much. And that's something that I appreciate about him. But at the same time, you know, he doesn't want other people in the community to be flamed and targeted and, you know, all that. Which is, again, you know, something that's really nice about him. You know, he's a nice guy. He's just blunt. A loving robot? Yeah, his name is appropriate, IGT. I'd agree with that. He is a loving robot. Yeah. It fits. It fits. But yeah, apparently I guess he's now, you know, he's cracking down on Reddit. Cracking down on the Discord post. I mean, you know, whatever. Do you want to pull a game? Or you want me to pull? Alright. No worries. We're running out of arrows before too long. Yep. More power to him. I know, right? Like, what the heck? How did I get two there? It came across. That's weird. No. You know, it's kind of funny, like, clearly groups didn't do these pale guards until now. You can't charm them. So it's like, I wonder why people weren't killing the pale guards. It's just funny to me, you know? It's funny. They do, not when there's two, though. Alright, we should be good now. There will be another two pulls at some point. But we should have two more mobs at least, and then maybe another two pull. Why is your XP bar lit? So that's because it's in a hell level. And a hell level basically means it's 2 times the amount of XP that you need to get through that level. 2 times what would be the amount of XP. So, you know, just takes longer. We're getting through it. If I died this morning, stupid reason, but I died this morning, so put me a little bit behind where I was, but it's okay. You know, we're making headway. What advantage? It doesn't give any advantage whatsoever. There's 0 advantage to it. Well, I'm not really sure why they do it, like, other than an homage to EverQuest. It's the only reason I can see why they would do it. But I don't know. People seem to like it. Some people seem to like it. Some people seem to not like it. So it just depends, you know. I'm still not sure if they really should keep going with the hell levels. I don't think they should. I mean, I don't see any reason for it. I mean, you could make it like flame like that every few levels if you want to, every 5 levels or something. You could do that, but you know, I don't know. I would rather them smooth the process out. You smooth the leveling out amongst the levels. But I mean, it ultimately doesn't matter. Not really. It's just a weird thing. So whatever. Apparently I complain too much, so I can't complain about that. We're not going to complain about it today. Did I get 2? Just 1. I think I just got 1. No, I don't know. I don't know the reasoning for it. I cannot die for like 10 levels, but always manage to eat one of the hell levels. Yes, exactly. Be chilling. I didn't die for a while. I haven't had a death in a bit. And then today, I was literally auto running across Sungreet Strand, and I wasn't paying attention, and I fell off a cliff and died. That's how I died today. I was just trying to run back to town, and I put on auto run, and I tabbed over, and I wasn't paying attention. It was really dumb, but those cliffs will get you. They'll get you. Is it death penalty? Yes. Is it like Diablo 2, higher level loot, etc.? I mean, there is loot when you get higher level, yeah. It's just the loot in this game is based on the enemy that you defeat. So you get higher level, you defeat tougher enemies, you find named enemies. And you defeat those and you get loot. Dude boy, orc boy, how you doing, bud? Happy Sunday to you as well. Welcome in, welcome in. Someone made a good point about hell levels giving casters a chance to catch up on money for spells. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. But it's like, I don't know, I find it funny because the first 20 levels are where you struggle with spells and money. By the time you hit 25, generally speaking, from what my experience anyway, is casters are caught up in their spells. So it's like that one level helps you catch up. But, you know, outside of that, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it does much of anything. But, you know, somebody else made another point. I don't remember what it was now. But there was another valid point or valid argument for hell levels that made sense. And I don't remember what that one was now, though. So there has been one point. Clearly it wasn't a big enough point to where it resonated with me to where I could remember it. But it made sense at the time. Get the money thing is a very small thing to consider, yeah. Enjoying a nice restful morning. Nice. Got your cleric to 31. Excited to deep dive on higher areas. Yeah, absolutely, man. You're going to start seeing some really fun stuff, dude boy. I don't know how far did you get in the previous, like, alphas, or like the open alpha test, and were you in the closed alpha at all? I don't remember if I ever saw you in there. I know a lot of people that were in there. They were playing under different names and such, but yeah, it's nice to see people getting higher level and being able to show off the content. Like, that's something for me, and I kept kind of talking to Sean about it and some other devs about it, and I was like, we got 2. Oh, okay. Oh, let me reform it though. All right, everybody get an invite. Yeah, I was saying, that's what we were saying, me and Game were saying, like, that group was really buggy. What? I'm getting your... Actually, I may not be. Like, I think we're fading. Alright, let's just all camp out and camp back in after these two. Hey, we're... Really? Alright, let's camp out after this and camp back in. Yeah, we got a... We got a weird bug. Huh, that's strange. So it's true about early levels being a real struggle. They are, yeah. The first 20 seconds are first 20 seconds. First 20 levels are definitely a struggle for a lot of players. I feel like the game becomes easier after level 20. You know, you start to learn. Maybe it's just you start to learn about the game and stuff. But I feel like every time I've played it, and I understand the game. I don't struggle with that. Yeah, let's leave the group, and then I'm gonna camp all the way to desktop. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, I feel like the first 20 levels is clearly the hardest part about the game. And then you hit like level 20, you start to learn about the game, you start to understand it a little bit better, you start to group up with people, you know, you figure out how to navigate, all of that kind of stuff. And then later in the levels, like, it becomes even easier. It's weird to me. All right, I'm coming back in. All right, I'm in. Okay. Let's see. My highest was about 18 during the playtest. Wow, so you're getting up there, seeing stuff that you haven't seen at all before. That's awesome. There was a social aspect within my guild way back in EQ where when someone got through a hell level, it was celebrated by the guild. Not sure it really matters, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, that's actually really cool. I like that. Okay. Let's try this again. Round 3. It's cooler when you start facing NPCs of all the different classes people can play. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice seeing different types of things. Like, in the low levels, everything is just like a melee, you know, animal or skeleton or whatever. And they just run up to you, they just melee you. There's not a lot of spellcasters. And then you get into, like, Wormsbane, you start to see a few spellcasters, like some low-level clerics and stuff. When you get to, like, level 20, between 20 and 30, though, you start seeing a lot of different class types that you go up against. You know, wizards and enchanters and inquisitors. Yeah, I guess we're going to do this for a little bit until people get on. I don't know what the plan is for today. Oh, I need to get food before I leave town today. Wah! Gotta get food. What have you guys been doing for food, by the way? Like, what's everybody's go-to? Are you just buying rations? Are you guys cooking? Are you just summoning your food? And water? Red Baron mini pizzas. Oh, yeah. In game. No, those Red Baron mini pizzas, man. Those things are good. I used to like DiGiorno a lot. The DiGiorno pizzas. Those things were delicious. Just buy stacks of rations of water. That's what I do, yeah. Boring life. That's me, man. That's me. I just buy stacks of rations and water. I have like 3 stacks of each usually, and then that lasts me for a while. So yeah. All I've been picking up lately is human meat. Oh, jeez. You're just killing those humans and cooking their meat? How dare you? I mean, it tastes better than dwarf meat. Dwarf meat's tough. Don't eat dwarf meat, guys. Definitely eat that human meat. Oh boy. That sounds about right. It's ridiculous how fast this XP is. Yeah, it was good XP. It's just better when you're in a smaller group. Like it's kind of silly, to be honest. Yeah, workers are light blue, then the others are dark blue. Yeah. You sometimes pick up, wizard pre-cooked meat. Yeah, if you kill something with a fire spell, it'll automatically cook the meat. That's always fun. Yeah, we could do that via a camp, but if we do that, everybody's got to be paying attention because that room is rough. Yeah, preferably an enchanter. It does. I mean, once you break it, as long as you keep it broken, it's not bad, but yeah, if things start spawning, somebody takes like just a 2-minute break, it'll fall apart. Oops, wrong button. Wrong button. Button. Who's got the button? So what's everybody's plans today? You guys, y'all gonna play the game? Or people just chilling on a Sunday? I'm enjoying the nice weather. Nice and sunny outside. I don't know what the temperature is. Let's see what the temperature is down here today. 73 degrees. Oh my goodness. I need to get like a laptop so I can sit outside and play the game and enjoy the outside air. 73 degrees. Holy moly. That is a fantastic temperature. I like it to be a little bit cooler so I can sit in the sun, or a little bit warmer and then I can sit in the shade. You know, but 73 like in the shade isn't too bad. It's kind of nice. But if you get like a little breeze, sometimes it gets a little chilly. Just got hit by a blizzard, like 6 inches of snow. Oh, man. Well, you don't want to see what it looks like outside for me. Yeah, it's beautiful. Nice and sunny. Grass is green. You know, slight breeze. High of 60 today and high of 20s tomorrow. You must live in like the south-ish. Like I'm way down south right now, South Florida. But like, yeah, that's what Georgia weather's like. 60 one day, 20 the next day. You never know. It's just a gamble. Do I leave the house? This might be a multi-pull, by the way. Yeah, it's gonna be 2. It looks like 3 if one spawns. 1 did spawn, but I think it's a far one, so it shouldn't be 3. But we'll see. Chicago? Yep. Chicago will do that to you. Good morning. How you doing, Arthurian? Perfect weather on the Florida-Georgia line. Overcast, but temps are around 70. Nice, nice. Yeah, we're at 73. I'm down a little further south. A little farther south. Florida-Georgia line, though. You listen to that song a lot? Isn't it called the Florida-Georgia line song? They play it at like the Georgia-Florida games, Florida-Georgia games, whatever. I was born in Florida, raised in Georgia. So, been there. Doing well, just logging into the game now. Nice, nice. Well, I hope you get a lot done today in the game. You're very productive. Born in Florida, raised in North Carolina. Nice. I'm in South Carolina now. Well, I'm not physically in South Carolina now. I live in South Carolina now. I'm currently in Florida right now. I'll be here for a little bit longer. And then headed back home. Miss my kiddo. Haven't hung out with my kiddo in a couple of weeks. And I don't like that. Yeah. Probably another 2 pull. It is. Yeah. I know there's a band. Is it a band named Florida-Georgia Line? Is that what it is? Sure hope so. Currently sunny here. New Hampshire. Not Night Harbor. You don't live in Night Harbor? What? I thought we all lived in Night Harbor. Raiders. The Magic Bro. What's up, Magic Bro? How you doing, bud? Welcome in. Welcome in. Glad to have everybody here. Population boon is nuts. Even in the rural areas. Good vibes. I love it. I love the good vibes. You got an animated good vibes. I think I have a good vibes emote, but it's not animated. I gotta up my game. Man. Good vibration. I see the subreddit got nuked while I was asleep. Yeah, Reddit popped off apparently last night. I got a couple messages about it. Apparently, I'm also getting thrown under the bus with some things that are happening, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know. I get it. I'm very opinionated. I understand. People look at it as complaining. They look at it as whatever they're gonna look at it as, and it's okay. But yeah, other people are getting flamed, and God dang it, 2 again. Other people are getting flamed, and hang on a second. We keep getting 2. I'm trying to split these. Wait, are you trying to mez the guard or the worker? Okay. Alright, I'll move it. Good vibes, good vibes. I love it. I love it. Night Harbor would be cool, but every time I see NH in game, I think of my state. Because that's how we abbreviate. Yep, that is true. That is true. So, you know, you just I'm gonna head over to New Hampshire and hit the bank real quick, buy my spells, you know. It's okay. Perfectly normal thing to do. Let me hit up New Hampshire real quick. But yeah, man, the subreddit, it's going a little bit crazy. Well, I mean, what do you guys think about it? What do you all think about it? I always say you guys. If it offends somebody, I apologize. I'm not here to offend people. But yeah, I mean, my take on it is okay, let me 1, 2, 3, 4. My take on it is, you know, we all, for the most part, I think most people want the game to be successful, and we all have different opinions on what that success means and what it is, you know. It's tough, man. It's tough. It is tough out there, let me tell you. I think real life is hard enough. We don't need to make our game lives worse. You know, can't we all just get along, kind of thing? You're clueless? You not pursue Reddit? Yeah, that's probably a good thing. I'm going to drink this bottle of water real quick. Give me a second. Man, that's good. Chug, 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 chug. Good morning, Feisty. How are you? I didn't send you a text this morning, did I? Again. I'm failing lately. I apologize. I mean, I'm probably failing all the time. I meant to get up earlier this morning. It was kind of funny. Like, I woke up at about 7:30, and I was like, I could get up, but nobody's going to be on to hang out with me and play the game. So I'm like, I'll just sleep in a little bit. So I fell back asleep, and I woke up again about 8:30, something, I don't know. And I had a text message from Gith right here, and he's like, hey, we're on. And I'm like, what the heck? They had been on since 7:30. Like, I could have gotten up at 7:30 and started streaming and started playing and hanging out and doing stuff. But I didn't. I did not. But I could have. That made me sad. I was like, man, now I'm sad because I wanna hang and do stuff. Hang out and do the stuff, you know. Good morning. You did not. I'll forgive you, I guess. Aw, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. I'm saying hi to you now. I think there's very clearly some dedicated trolls on both the Reddit and Discord, but I don't know if deleting streamer clips is fair. Yeah. What do you mean about deleting streamer clips? Like that the subreddit deleted the clip of the streamer supposedly being toxic, you know? I don't want to... I'm not taking sides there at all. Like, I kind of see... I kind of see both sides of it, you know? Should you help replace... If you're talking about the replacement of players in a party, if you leave a party, yeah, you should try to help replace if you can. You know, try to like, hey, I'm going to be leaving in a few minutes. I'm going to try to help find a replacement. Can anybody else look for a replacement? Ask your guild, ask your friends, you know. But at the same time, we can't all do that. But, you know, it's... Whoever runs the subreddit has control. End of conversation. Yeah, and I think that the devs have at least authority on there. I don't know who runs the subreddit. Does anybody actually know? I asked this a little bit ago, and I don't think anybody knew. Does anybody know who actually runs the subreddit? I think it's actually the devs of Monster, like Niche World's Cult. I think they created the subreddit. I think the clip was overblown, but deleting it just seems weird. Yeah, I can get that. Especially if you're streaming and have a platform. Yeah. I mean, I understand that side of it too, you know. You're representing the game and you're representing the community as a content creator. You know, and I fail at that at times. You know, I will fully admit that I fail at that at times where I misrepresent the community in ways because, you know, I might exaggerate things, or I might blow things out of proportion or whatever, which I guess is exaggerating. I might complain about something, or I might give my opinion a little too freely, you know, and that happens. It happens. I don't fault people for it. To be frank, Reddit mobs have a reputation for being idiots. They do, and that's the other side of it, right? It's the whole other side of it. You got to take Reddit with a grain of salt. It's there's a lot of people that just bounce around on Reddit to cause issues. And, you know, they're going to point out those issues a lot of times because they think it's funny, I guess. I don't know. For whatever reason, they do it. But, you know, they do it nonetheless. Whatever that reason may be. But, you know, whatever. We're all humans. If you aren't stepping on people and being disrespectful, it's okay with me. Yeah, I won't do that. Yeah, I'm not going to disrespect somebody. You know, I might get mad and be like, oh my God, you know, just like, but I'm not going to flame people. I'm not going to do any of that kind of stuff. I will complain. I complain about the game. I critique the game, in my opinion. It's critiquing. But, you know, some people might call it complaining, and that's fine. You know, whatever. Call it what you want. I'm not disagreeing with you. I try not to be whiny about it, but maybe it comes off as whining. I don't know. Something that somebody said today, or in one of those threads, though, that somebody linked me, is it said that I was very opinionated. And I'm like, I absolutely am opinionated. I get that. I'm extremely opinionated. And I'm not saying that is a good thing. It's probably more of a flaw. Hey, Easter, can you summon food and water? I don't have any. Well, I'm running low, apparently. It's really disappointing to see all this negativity around the game suddenly. Yeah. Like, I'm super positive for the game still. Like, super positive. I'm not negative towards it at all. There's just things that I disagree with. But I'm not like... I still think the game's going to be successful. I'm still excited for it. You know? Hey, it's Coffee. What's up, Coffee? One morning coffee. That's another streamer, by the way. So this is Coffee. If you guys haven't been in his stream, he's been in my stream chatting about some here and there. But I guess he started streaming, and he plays Necromancer, I think level 50. What level is he now? What level did he get to? 51. Yeah, he got to 51, so, you know, kudos to him. He's pushing pretty hard. Does he have a YouTube channel? I'll sub. I don't know if he's got YouTube. I know he's been streaming on Twitch a little bit. I mean, I don't know the guy super well, but I just know that he's popped in. He's popped in on my channel, and then he streams some. So I guess he's going down. He's going down to camp the Forum. He's soloing here. We are currently here trioing. And he's going to go down there and solo. You've seen him around Night Harbor? Yeah, yep. Nice guy, really good at grinding the genre. Yeah. He seems like a nice guy to me. I've never had any issues with him. What is the max gap between levels you can group with in this game? So it changes, Gonzo, as you level up. It starts out thanks, sir. It starts out at 5 levels, and it goes up to 19 levels. And it's basically from level 1 to 15, it's a 5-level gap. And then from level 15 plus, got 2 coming. From level 15 plus, it is a what are they, like your level times 1.5? You can group with somebody of that level. So if you are level 41, you can group with a level 60. We tried a level 40. And it didn't work, so it's a little bit less than 1.5. It's like 1.5 rounded down or something. I don't know. But, yeah, level 41 can group with a 60. Level 15 can group with a level 10. Level 30 can group with a level 20. So, those are like kind of the numbers. It changes. What zone is this? Shallow Shoals? No, this is actually in Night Harbor. We are currently inside of Night Harbor. I can... Yoink, there's Night Harbor right there. Look at that. Crazy, huh? Isn't that crazy? People don't even know about this over here. They know, like, people are starting to find out about this tower here. This tower, in fact, connects to this island underneath it. So if you go, like, in this cave, or in this little hole over here, where I've been going in to pull mobs, if I go through that cave, I can actually come out at the bottom of this tower. It's actually kind of neat. These people across multiple levels. Yeah, you can level from 1 to 60 in Night Harbor if you really wanted to, without ever leaving Night Harbor. It is possible. I'm sure someone will do that one day. That would be like a challenge run for somebody, just to be like, hey, I'm gonna level from 1 to 60. I'm never gonna leave Night Harbor. You might need to buy some gear every now and then, but it's definitely possible. Two again. Let's see. All the drama on Reddit? Yeah, it is. It's rough. It's rough. Awesome. Thank you for the answer. Yeah, no worries, Gonzo. Appreciate you being here. The best to just ignore the drama. Yeah, I would agree. Good zone design. Helps people get in multiple dungeons. Let's see. You're on an island next to where the cartographers are. Yes, I am. Yeah, the there's like cartographer trainers and carpenters and whatnot. I think are all right here. I want to see some hardcore 60 classes which have no right to pull it off. Fighter, for example. Ooh, that'd be tough. That'd be tough. Yeah, a fighter going from level 1 to 60 and hardcore. What about hardcore solo self-found characters, right? Or a hardcore I guess they're not really solo, you can always group, but a hardcore self-found character where you actually have to loot everything. Holy moly. Like that would be a challenge run right there. My goodness. I wouldn't want to do it. Would not want to do it. I think it really tells the skill of the bard when they can kite guards around town, kill them without ever killing anyone else. They'd get reported so much if they did, yeah. Unless I'm mistaken, after level 15, you must be within 2/3. That is correct, yes. It is 2/3. So 0.66 or 1.5 times the lowest level. Both of those come to the same number. So like 2/3 of 30 is 20. 20 times 1.5 is 30. So yeah. Math is fun, man. I love math. I have so much fun with math. Like it's crazy how things can work out, you know, within math. It's so weird to me. It's so weird. They moved the cartographer trainers in. They used to be on an island that that's to your right. An island to my right. So like, there's another island. I don't even know. The carpenters I know are over here. I don't know exactly. Maybe the cartographers are not over here. The carpenters are definitely over here. Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, being in a group may not be the solid choice because in a group, yeah, people might get you killed. It's very, very true. Ah. Stop it. Stop hitting me. So mean. Oh, whoops. I swapped my my bags here. I didn't mean to do that. Let's see. Put that here. Ah. This is so confusing me. All right, we're going to swap these bags. There we go. I like my tailor bag to be the first bag, and then my leatherworking the second bag. That's what I'm used to now. I got to keep it that way. Otherwise, it's going to confuse me all day long until I get used to it again. Hi, Griddle. I'm very interested in the Elementalist. Haven't seen much. Any thoughts on the class? I haven't played. Yes, I have lots of thoughts on the class. In fact, Gammy here in my group, who's currently the Bard, is my go-to Elementalist. He had a level 60 Elementalist on the Alpha, on the closed Alpha. We group together all the time. Like, he's a good friend of mine from a long time. Elementalist is a great class. It needs a little bit of work, in my opinion. So, spoiler alert, this is my complaining that people like to say that I do. It's so the class to me, it's a very good, solid class, especially for a group. You have a pet. You have some pretty good nukes. They are basically carbon copies of wizard nukes, which is the part that I don't like that much. I wish they had more non-wizard nukes. Their pets, when you summon them, they all have like a group buff that their pets do, depending on the pet. So like you have an air pet, and it gives melee classes an additional chance to attack in combat. Their water pet gives mana regen. Their fire pet gives a damage shield. And earth pet gives armor class to the group. So they all get that. And then they have abilities that they can cast along with their pet. So their pet uses an ability, and then the elementalist uses an ability, and they get a secondary effect like blind or knockback, effects like that. So they have it's like a flame blast. They turn like a fire spell and an air pet or something together creates a flame blast, and it'll knock the pets back or something along those lines. I don't know the exact combinations. You have to learn that as you play. But then they also can summon a lot of things. They can summon weapons. They can summon bandages. They can summon food and water. So, you know, they do things like that as well. Personally, again, I think that they should change that and not summon all of those kind of things, because they are not a summoner in this game as they are in other games. 2 coming, I think. Possible third if there's a spawn on the way. Yeah, they're a very solid class. I would say that they're very group focused in this game now with their pet abilities. Specifically, if you have a melee group or a caster group, you can. That's right. I swapped. I swapped, not swipped. So yeah, that's basically the class. It's strong. It's a good solo class. It's not the best solo class, but it is a solid solo class. So you'll be able to do both grouping and soloing with that. Hopefully that explains it. That kind of goes over it, the quick version. Nicodemus, hello. How are you, bud? I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. Wasn't sure what was going on with, you know, with things. I hope things are okay over on your end. I haven't seen you chat. Let's put it that way. Maybe you popped in or whatever. But yeah, everything's going well. I mean, as well as it can be. Were you here, Nicodemus? My stepdad did in fact pass away on Wednesday. So we're kind of going through all that. So I took Wednesday off of streaming, clearly, you know, because of that. So you know, it's I know you were kind of following that a little bit. So binging streams, nice. Any named in there? Yes, inside. So yeah, there's a bunch of named. So down here at the bottom of this pit that I'm pulling from, there's a named mob down there. There's a named jailer around the corner from that. And then what I was saying is this area on this island actually goes over to this tower over here. Eventually it comes up to this tower. Inside this tower, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 named. And like a... excuse me. You have 4 named inside of that tower. And like a pseudo named. 2 again. I'm on the guard. And like a pseudo named, which is the cook. So, yeah. Lots of named over here. Sorry to hear. That's okay, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, you know, for the condolences and stuff. You know, we're slowly, the family is getting together. That's why I'm down here in Florida. You know, you hear me talk about it sometimes. I'm actually visiting my mom. I came down 2 weeks ago because my stepdad was in the hospital. And, you know, I was glad that I came down, you know, glad to be here. And we've been able to do a lot of family stuff. My sister also lives down here. So, you know, we've been doing, you know, a lot of that. Now my aunt is down. So my mom's sister is here. She came in last night. And she is now down here as well. So she's spending time with my mom. And it frees me up to be able to do this. You know. We got a lot going on, though. So there might be some times when I'm not here streaming. But I'll be around. Don't worry. I'm not leaving the game or anything. I try to stream every day around 9 a.m. Eastern. So if you guys are interested in hanging out in streams and chatting every day, like literally every day, 9 a.m. Eastern is when I try to get on. And I stream for sometimes short streams, sometimes long streams. But yeah. Anyway, moving on from all of that. But yeah, I appreciate it, guys. You know, I'm 45 years old, and he's my stepdad. But my parents, or my mom and my stepdad, were married when I was 3. So he's been very much a father figure in my life for 42 years. So you know, it's definitely hits hard. Would be cool if they tied some of the available spells to which pet they had to summon, like Pantheon was doing. Yeah, I would like to see that too. 45 looks good on you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Do I have the Riz? I don't know how the kids do it these days. Do I have the Riz? Oh my gosh, dude. I try to stay young and youthful. It doesn't always work. You got the skibbity toilet Riz. Yeah. Whatever that stuff is, dude. It's so ridiculous. Skibbity. Giga Chad. My gosh, dude. My goodness. What are we going to do with these kids these days? You know, I am now starting to see what my parents were going through. But I don't know, though. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, I feel like my parents, you know, we made up words and stuff, too, sometimes. But I feel like they weren't that bad. Like, I'm trying to think of words that we made up as kids. That, you know, my parents may have been like, oh, my gosh, stop saying that. Because, like, cool and rad and all of those things, those were all when they were younger. You know, those were all in, like, the 60s. So like those don't count. I can't think of anything that I used to say as a kid. Like bogus, but that's an actual, like, that's a legit word, you know? I don't know. Oh, the summoner pets, which is the strongest? Can a mage pet outfight a necro pet? I think that mage pets, yes, they do. They probably are a little bit stronger than necro pets. Not a lot. They're very similar, but they're a little bit better. I think that, you know, the best pet for mages is either the air pet or the water pet, depending on your group. Air pet, if you have a melee group, is really strong, and a water pet, if you have a caster group, is very nice because of the mana regen. Think dope and fly? I don't know. Maybe were dope and fly only from that generation of like the 80s, the 90s kids? I don't know. Leet definitely. I would say that's a little bit later than me. Like maybe, you know, 10 years behind me, but yeah, I could see that. Hey, Criddle in chat. How's the weekend treating you? It's treating me great, Todd. How are you? I saw you popping around at some other channels recently. You know, getting in on that drama. Well, you weren't part of the drama, but you were listening in on some of the drama. I popped into a couple Twitch channels, maybe late last night or something, just to see what was going on because of all the drama that was popping off. And I'd already ended my stream, so I was like, let's see what's going on. I'm sure you have a take on it, Todd. It's crazy, man. I don't want to necessarily get involved in the drama, but it's crazy what's happening. I think reusing words for other meanings was the more common. Now it's fully made up. Yeah, now exactly. It's just fully made up, like skibbity. But one of the funniest ones to me right now is Sigma. And I watched a TikTok or YouTube video or whatever, short, whatever it was, I don't know. And the kid was like, "Man, that's so Sigma." And the guy goes, "What is Sigma?" And he goes, "Alpha." And I'm like, "Oh my God, like these kids these days. Sigma is not alpha. In fact, it's like six letters down or six whatever." It's like alpha, beta, gamma. Like Sigma's down there somewhere. Like, what are you even talking about? It's crazy to me. My girlfriend's daughter uses Sigma a lot. There's a road near us that's got Sigma in it, like Sigma Road or whatever the heck it is, and it's like, oh jeez, every time we pass it, Sigma, Sigma. Like what? What are you even saying? Like, I think it's Latin for 6. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sigma is just Latin for 6. Like, it doesn't even make sense. You're like, Sigma's alpha. No, alpha's alpha. Alpha's number 1. Sigma's literally number 6. You don't want to be Sigma. That reminds me of back when we were younger, when I was in like middle school, and people were like, "Hey, you're so dense. Like, you're so stupid." And it's like, no, dense just means it's filled with something. And in that case, you could say you're filled with knowledge. You're dense with knowledge. Like, you just have a lot of knowledge. Like, what? How is dense like a diss somehow? Like, it's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Anyway, I think it's hilarious. I kind of like it, though. It's fun. You know, the whole 6-7 thing is starting to go away, at least around me. But it's still a thing. 6-7. It's still a thing, you know, in certain areas. And, you know, my kids are now like, "No, that's going..." Well, specifically my sister's kids, my nieces and nephews, are like, "No, that's going away." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, whatever. You say so. Leet may be millennial. Yeah, I think Leet's probably millennial. But that would be one of those things. I wish Wake Up in Monsters of Memories. What, are you not waking up in Monsters of Memories? I can't wait. It's going to be a glorious launch day. I can't wait either, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been up to date on everything. I got to say, it's for sure a Brigade situation, unfortunately. Yeah. I think that's what's going on. They're the haters, either haters from this game or haters from other games that don't want this game to succeed. Or just people that just want to start up drama. It's crazy to me, man. Like, all these people doing what they're saying. Oh. The subreddit has introduced new rules. Yeah, I saw that this morning to hopefully mitigate it. Yeah. How about out of pocket? What does that mean? I mean, I know what out of pocket means. Like, I had to pay for something out of pocket, rather, like in a tax term, or not tax, in like, you have out of pocket and then you have insurance. But what does out of pocket mean? Having a good weekend. Had to work for an hour this morning for some schedule stuff. Now you're just chilling. Nice. Having to only work for an hour seems awesome. Take a chill pill. Oh, yeah, chill pill. Dude, I remember that. Take a chill pill, dude. Oh, my gosh, dude. That reminds me of Full House. Chill out. Cut it out. Golly, I watched so much Full House when I was a kid. Man, Danny Tanner was like everybody's... Was it Danny Tanner? Was like everybody's, you know, second dad kind of thing. This is the reason why education is important. It is the reason why education is important. Think I came from things aren't getting through to you because you're so dense? Yeah. Maybe, yeah. They're not getting through to you because they're so dense. So yeah, it's so dense you can't go through it. Maybe that's where it came from. Yeah, that could be it, Ark Hunter. I don't know. Sigma is a Greek letter. Alpha is as well. Yeah, it's like alpha. I think it's alpha, beta, gamma. Is it kappa, omega, sigma? Did I get it in the right order? I think it's in the right order. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Good morning. How are you? Delta Epsilon? Yeah. Buffs are fading. See if there's something I can pull while we do them or not. I don't see anything. I'm here. All right. Yeah, Delta would be the fourth one. So it's, I guess it's Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta. I don't know. I don't know all of them. If I was in the military or I joined a fraternity or something, I'd probably know. Clutch? Maybe, yeah. Clutch could be it. I still hear the 6-7 at the day job. Do you really, Nicodemus? Oh my gosh. I love the game to get more popularity, more people with the group with. Oh yeah, I love that the popularity is popping off right now, like pretty hard, which is great. You know, we're getting a lot more eyes on the game, a lot more people coming in, a lot more people excited about it. Like I've been saying, people keep saying that this game is not going to be popular. It's not going to have enough subs. It's not going to have this. It's not going to have that. Whatever. I think it's going to be more popular than people are expecting. I said about a year ago, maybe even longer ago than that. About a year and a half ago, I played the game. I tried it out for the first time. And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if this game's going to make it or not. We'll have to see what happens. And then about a year ago, I was like, yeah, I'm going to start watching this game more because the devs are doing such a good job, and I'm really enjoying the game, digging it. Digging it. That's another one of those things. I'm digging the game. But I made a prediction maybe 6 months ago, 5 months ago, something like that. And I was like, yeah, this game's probably going to have 20 to 30,000 subscribers day one. That number might have gone up. It might have actually gone up. I was thinking at the current growth rate of the game, you know, the success, the things that I was seeing, etc., all of that, you know, I was like, this game is going to have 20 to 30,000 subscribers day one. But I'm predicting now we're looking at 50 plus. And I think that number is going to continue to grow as we get closer to early access. Like, it's possible if it continues to go in the way that it has been going, the exponential growth that it's been going through, it might hit, you know, 100K. This could be the next big MMO. You know, not necessarily a WoW killer, but definitely the next big MMO that people are playing. You know, if they get, you know, 100,000 subs, I'd be a little surprised, but I wouldn't be shocked. You know, I would definitely be like, wow, that's craziness. Got to head to work. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, take care, Nicodemus. Appreciate you stopping in. Really do appreciate you being here. Anyone know when next round of invites go out? Probably on Friday. Jin, Ricky, be sure to look for your emails. If you're looking for a beta invite, make sure you opt in if you haven't opted in on the website for the 200 plus one. But B, look for those emails about the survey server, the server survey form, or whatever the heck they're calling it. Be sure to look for that because they're talking about adding in an additional 100 plus one invites based on participation to that. So they have not confirmed that they're going to do that, but got two coming in. I am on the worker. But they, you know, they have mentioned it. Sean specifically mentioned it, is why I'm mentioning it to you. So, and I don't think he was joking about that. I know Sean was joking. Sean wasn't joking. He was being serious. He wasn't being serious. All that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure he wasn't joking about that. That's one of the ones, you know, the nuances of language. Not till it gets on Steam. You think so? You think it's not going to pop out or pop off until Steam? Maybe. I like that they focus specifically on being true and how they want to make the game. Tenants be stressful. Yeah, I like that too. I love that about this dev team. Is they're sticking to it pretty well. I think there's a few outliers on there, not necessarily outliers on the team, but outlier things in the game. Like right now, I would say one of my my biggest critiques, complaints, whines, whatever you want to call it. My biggest thing right now is the solo ability in the game versus the group ability in the game. They have been saying for a very long time this is going to be a very group-focused game. And I think that it is to some extent. They're trying to go that route, but I think they've made certain things a little bit too soloable. Certain classes that solo a little bit better than other, like too well, I guess. But they're currently working on that. That is something that they are working towards, increasing the TTK, making the game a bit more difficult, which is a great thing. They're listening to it. You know, we'll see what happens and how they change it, though. I think it would do. You think it would do that without Steam? I think it will do that without Steam. I think we're going to get, you know, minimum 30K, maybe upwards of 50K subscribers without being on Steam. I think that if it continues to grow over the next month and a half, 2 months, you know, that we're getting closer to EA, the way that it's exponentially been growing, we're looking at maybe 100K subs. You know, we'll have to see. 50K would be insane. It scares me a bit. And it should, Encrypt. It should. 50K is a lot of people, dude. It's a lot of people. You know? Like, good gosh. That would be nuts. I hope that you guys get it. I really do. And I hope that you know, everybody starts to get paid, and I hope that the people that are currently between jobs finally get, you know, a good solid job with this game. I know you got to be careful with it. You know, I'm a money person, you know, economics, money type of person. You know, they can't be like, hey guys, we have 100,000 subs. You know, that's $1.5 million a month that we're making. Let's just hire everybody and pay them, you know, crazy salaries because we're raking in the dough. Well, you got to be careful with that. Like, how long is that going to last? But, you know, I think that the team has a very good head on their shoulders. I think that Sean is being very smart with that on, you know, how many people they're going to hire on. And then their accountant, which is... Why am I drawing a blank on the accountant's name right now? They're in Twitch sometimes. Anyway, yeah, you know, you got to be careful about it. Can't spend all that money up front. Throw some in the bank. Reinvest in the company. I think that one of the things that would be really smart is buying everybody at the for the team a new computer, you know, that just runs the game better and allows them to do their work better, you know, things like that. Hoping to be the next big sandbox MMO. Me too. That's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, how you doing, Encrypt? I was a little worried last time you popped in the stream and we were chatting. I don't mean any offense to you or anybody else on the stream when I talk about some of the things that I say. You know, I do have a lot of opinions on the game, and I don't mean to step on any toes, you know. So, I don't think anybody's taking it that way, but just in case they are taking it that way, if I have crossed any lines, I apologize. Because like I'm, you know, I say a lot, and I pick on you guys sometimes, and I'm like, I disagree with this wholeheartedly, and I don't think that they can manage this. Like I say some things, and I don't mean to, yeah. No worries, no toe stepping here. All feedback that is constructive. Yeah, I heard Sean say the same thing. Stop giving like just whiny, negative, you know, feedback. Like constructive feedback, we like. You know, even if it's not something we agree with, we like it. And I'm like, yeah, hopefully that's not me. Hopefully I do give constructive feedback. I mean, sometimes I probably whine a little bit. But, yeah. Anyway. I appreciate what you guys are doing. Like, y'all, I think y'all are doing an awesome job building this game. And I will say this. With the recent drama over the past couple of days, because it kind of started really heavily on Friday, I noticed, right? It probably started a couple of days before Friday, but it really became mainstream on Friday. It was noticeable within the team. You know, I saw the team kind of getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Like, they're just like, you know, kind of thing. I see that. I see that a lot. I think it will do 30 to 40 pretty quickly, and then word of mouth we get out. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Pork Pork Bunby? I'm going to say pork. I think I've been saying pork. Could you imagine 5 servers with 10K unique accounts? Right? That'd be nuts. They're probably going to have, I think, 10 plus servers at launch. You know, like we're talking, we got 2 coming in. I think like 1 PvP server, maybe 2 PvP servers at launch, but make them merge later on as people quit. People are going to quit. I'm on the guard, by the way. People are going to quit. I mean, it's inevitable. Like, you just got to account for that. But I think 1 or 2 PvP servers, and then, you know, I'm thinking minimum 5 PvE servers. I would say 8 PvE servers in the start, and then have like 4 and 4, like on a. I would do 4 servers on a cluster and another 4 servers on a cluster, and at any point you could merge any of those servers into other servers if the need arises. So that's what I would go with currently, based on my predictions, which are educated but not, you know, super. Like, I don't know. I don't see all the numbers. Wonder how populated PvP servers will be. I think they're going to be populated for the first week to 2 weeks, maybe the first month, because it is a monthly sub game. And then after that first month, people are going to be like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. Or people will absolutely enjoy the PvP servers. I'm not saying that there won't have people on them. They absolutely will. There's going to be people that are just masochists and they just want to punish themselves and play the game. Why you would want to do that, I have no idea. But yeah. Is this the game I'm going to stay up late, wake up in the middle of the night, and grind right before I wake? Yes, that is this game. 100% that is what this game is. Haven't felt that feeling in a long time. It's 100% what this game is. We'll see how successful that is. Like, think about it this way. There's a lot of people right now that are wanting this style of game. They want a very hardcore game, right? And they want it to be. They want to have that nostalgia of EverQuest 1, where they stayed up super late. They went to bed, or they went to work early in the morning. They drink a bunch of coffee. 2 again. I'm on guard. Wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning to do a raid. People are asking for that, but do they really want it? And I think we're gonna find out within that first month or 2 if people actually want that content or not. I personally want it. I love it, and I'm here for it. But I think there are those people out there that are literally asking for it, and they're gonna find out very quickly, like, no, I don't want this. I do not want this. This is, this is causing issues with my marriage, my relationships in real life, my work. We're gonna see. Hey, what's up, Slayheim? How you doing, bud? Hope all is well. Well said on covering all the recent stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Hope you're doing well. My opinion, the Paladin res needs a lot of help. I agree. I think that the Paladin res should not cap out at 50% at level 56. This is not because I think that EverQuest, I think, had like a 90% res for Paladins. I'm not saying it because of that reason. I just think that the Paladin res should be, more, like maybe 75%, just to add in more people able to res and give a decent amount of XP back. The 50% res after the game's been out for a long enough to where you have enough clerics that are max level, it's just going to be kind of a pointless res. That said, you can res your character multiple times. So that's one of the fixes they did with that. So you could get the 50% Paladin res because that's what's available, and then later on find a cleric that's able to give you a 95% res, and then you can get that 45% difference. So you can res a corpse, I believe, up to 5 times right now, which does kind of alleviate some of that. So, I would absolutely take a Paladin res if they offered it to me. I would take any res if they offered it to me just to get back to my corpse faster. And then if I wanted to find a better res later, I could always do that. Leave an item on your corpse and do it later, you know. We purposely keep some of our devs' computers behind the curve so they can experience our software. Slower computers, help them optimize. I mean, that's true. That's true. I can see that too. I think it's like keep your old computer and optimize for your old computer, but here's a brand new computer, you know, because we're making money as a team and we need to, you know, we want you to be productive. Like Sean upgrading his computer recently was a huge upgrade for him. Huge upgrade. You know, I think that's good. Gonna avoid the streamer server, no offense. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think that's gonna be a problem though. I don't think there's going to be a quote-unquote streamer server. I think there's going to be servers that have streamers on them. But, you know, I think every server is probably going to have some sort of content creator on it. The problem is there's going to be the bigger content creators that jump in. When Carnage plays the game, I've heard rumors that he may end up playing early access. And if he plays the game, of course, that server is going to be loaded with a bunch of the coalition, right? Like a bunch of people are going to jump in on that server. They're going to want to play with Co. They're probably going to start a coalition guild. You know, those kind of things happen behind Carnage, and it's understandable. He's got a pretty big following, you know? Should you join those servers? I don't know. If you're part of the coalition, probably. If you're not, probably not. But then, are those also going to be the servers that die first? Like, let's say Asmongold, for whatever reason, decides to play this game, and people follow him there. Then, you know, that crowd will then be like, oh, we're going to play the game as long as Asmongold is playing it, and then as soon as he stops playing it, you know, we're out. So are those going to be the first servers to go crazy, and then the first ones to also die out? We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it plays out. I probably will not announce what server I am on specifically. I will just make a character and start playing it, and then people will figure it out eventually. You know, we'll have to see how that plays out. I don't know. Do you think there would be a streamer server? I don't think there will be, yeah. I mean, all the server bros going to try to join the same guilds. Yeah, I think it's going to be more of... I honestly think the worst part of it is not going to be the server or the streamer bros and all that. It's not going to be that. It's going to be the issue. Look at that little dinghy out there. I don't think I've ever noticed that little dinghy. That looks like a player-owned boat. Okay. All right, I'll run to the restroom while you do that then. Guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to go to the restroom real quick. Easter's checking on something, so I don't have a healer. So give me just 1 minute, and I'm going to go do that. I'm back. We going over there? All right. Headed that way. Oh, that'd be smart. Yeah, Bard's swim speed. That would be amazing, actually. Yeah, what? Can we get a Bard swim speed spell, devs? Here, let me... Oh, we were talking about server, and so what I was saying about that is I don't think the issue is going to be so much the being on a server with a streamer or content creator so much as it's going to be being on a server with certain guilds. I honestly think that the specific guilds are going to affect your play more than a content creator or a streamer will. There will be some drama with every content creator and streamer. It just happens. But I think you might want to avoid certain guilds, depending on what you want. I mean, you might want to follow certain guilds. You might want to be part of certain guilds. So it all depends. You guys want to pull, or how do we want to do this? Oh, we just do it the way we did the other day, where I pulled and okay, I'll do that. All right. Let me see if I can catch up on chat since I went to the restroom real quick. Interesting is, does a younger generation that didn't grow up with EQ, didn't have this style of game and this kind of difficulty, social aspect, buy into it? Yeah, we'll have to see. I think there are people, Rabbit, I think there are people that will do that, like a younger generation. I've heard of several people that are like in their 20s that are like, man, this game is really what I wanted to play and really what I enjoy and all that. So yeah, I think it's going to happen. I've never been into raids ever. Group content only, yeah. I like it all. I like group content, solo content, raid content. I like all of it. I just want, like, I would like certain things to be a certain way. I just have my preferences. I think they'll have 10K plus subscribers early access launch. It would drop by half in 3 months and then slowly again until 1.0 launch. You think so, Lucky? I don't know. I think it's going to be bigger than that. I think we're going to see... I think we're going to see more people at launch. I agree with you for sure. It will slowly die out. Like, it's going to slowly get less and less and less people, for sure. But, I don't know. Like, I think early access is going to hit. We're going to have a lot of people. It's going to slowly go down to a point where it hits like a bottom, and that bottom might be 10K people. And then it'll slowly come back up as it gets closer to early access. Or, sorry, 1.0. Because I don't know how long 1.0 is going to be, or how long early access will be before 1.0 hits. It'll probably be at least a year, I would imagine, maybe longer. And depending on how quickly that happens, they might... I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Alright. Sorry, they're trying to do some shenanigans. Co's already playing the game off stream. Yeah. He's playing the game off stream from what I understand. He's talked about playing the game a little bit on his streams. But yeah, I think he's waiting to 1.0. I heard rumors that he might play early access. I don't know that he will. He might play it for like a day or two or play it off stream or something. But streaming it, I don't know. He might. It's definitely something that he would be into. But he also talks about early access games a lot. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Seen the chat longs. He's waiting for EA. Yeah. Well, do we know like who Ko is in game? Because somebody created a Ko character that was not actually Ko at the time. It might be now because the devs may have. Should I pull more or wait? Okay. The devs may have fixed his name or whatever. But anyway, I don't know. I'm not going to speak for Ko or anything like that because I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows other than Ko and his team. All those big streamers always fade away within a month. Yeah, that's the reason I think. Please not Asmongold. I mean, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Asmongold. his viewers are not my viewers. I don't think. Like we don't share the same crowd, so I don't know. It doesn't bother me. But yeah, all those streamers I think are going to fade away. The big ones they'll come, they'll play the game as a hype game. They'll bring a lot of eyes on it. It'll bring in some new people, but then a lot of them will eventually fade out. Absolutely. I see that 100%. Definitely, they're not going to stick around very long. Some of them. If the game becomes big enough, he'll try it because it would generate money for him on YouTube. Oh yeah, it absolutely will, yeah. But that's what Ko does, right? That's his career. We small streamers we all hope to be in Ko's shoes one day, where we can just play any game and make tons of money doing it. We all would like to do that, but the chances of that happening are slim. So but yeah, as far as people being on the same server, I would look out for the guilds. Find out which guilds right now that you like and don't like, and I'm sure we all have our ones that we see and we're like, I don't like that guild. Well, I do like these people. These people are cool. These people are not cool. We see it. You know who I'm talking about. I would make sure you go to a different server than those guilds, or the same server, depending on if you want to be part of that or not. The teacher's gone. Let's move his desk. Nice. Yeah, Nicodemus. Nicodemus is gone, guys. Is he a teacher? I didn't realize he was a teacher. Is that who you're talking about, Isad? What are your thoughts on the druids in Monsters Memories? Druids are great. They're in a pretty good spot. They're actually the most played class in the game currently. I think part of that is because of their kit. I think most of that is because of their kit. They can just do a little bit of everything. They can solo. They can be in a small group. They can be in full groups. They got good buffs. They've got Sal. They've got teleports. They've got a little bit of everything. The only thing they can't do is tank. But they could always charm a pet and tank. So they could even do that. They've got a lot. They got a lot going for them. Why is this not working? Encrypt, do you know why this doesn't work if you're still in here? I am hitting my macro down here. I can try to use my 1, 2, 3 keys. It just doesn't work. It locks up all the time. And I've talked about it. I think you've heard me talk about it. Yeah, my macro is breaking. Or my abilities are breaking. I fixed it. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, agree about Asmongold, not a fan. Yeah, a lot of people aren't a fan. A lot of the older crowd, not a fan. I mean, popularity though, like you gotta admit that he's one of the most popular streamers and content creators out there right now. So, love him or hate him, or indifferent of him, we're kind of stuck at the moment. Now, whether he'll play this game or not, I don't know. We'll have to see. I would think more overlap with Ko's viewers. Yes, there are some viewers of Ko and viewers of Asmongold for sure that overlap. They've already stated a few times water walking would be a spell. Yeah, water walking would be a spell, but swim speed. I want to see swim speed. Does this game have reputations? Well, I guess Sal technically works with swim speed, so maybe that's just all they're doing with that. Does this game have a reputation with different NPC groups, Toes, that you can work? Yes. It does have a faction-based system in it, and you can raise and lower your faction with those. In some cases, you can raise your faction to do quests. So yeah, that's definitely going to be a thing in this game. 100% will be a thing. And already is a thing. It's not throughout the entire game, but it is a thing. If it wasn't Ko, then it was the best Ko impersonator I've seen. Like Rampage, it's a big poop soccer guild. Rampage, yeah, it's got some poop soccers in it for sure. Does have some poop soccers in it. My game crashed? Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Is there already a guild list? No, there's not like a guild list, but there's a lot of guilds that are already playing the game. Rampage being one of them. You know, like you could run around. The Rel and Pour has been around a lot. Shade, Fable, I've seen their name a bunch. I've seen I'm trying to think of some other ones just off the top of my head that I've seen like today. There's a lot of guilds out there, and you're gonna like some and you're not gonna like some. You maybe, you know, maybe you'll like them because they're our hardcore you know, raid poop soccer guild. Maybe you'll like them because they're more casual. Maybe you'll like them, you know, I don't know. You're gonna like them or hate them for different reasons. So, you know, I'm assuming that some of those guilds are going to publicly announce what server they're going to once we have a server list. They'll go and be like, hey, I'm going to go to this server or whatever. And you can either join that server or avoid that server based on the guild. And, you know, I would like to see something like that. Some of the P99 server guilds are coming over in droves. They are, yeah. Rampage was a P99 guild, and I think that's what they're kind of known for. It was when you went to the restroom. I made the desk count. Oh, I was the teacher in that situation, Todd. Gotcha. Let's all freak out. There's one in the Discord called what? Need to get to that campfire. There we go. That's campfire right there. Okay, now I know where to be to get in the campfire buff. I saw a guy with high swimming skill earlier, and he was zooming. Yeah, like you get 100 swimming. So basically, from my understanding, is your swim skill, your swim speed, is based on your swimming skill, clearly, and your swim skill goes up to 100. So I think it cuts your speed down if you're at 1. I don't think... It used to be like 1%. Like it was really, really ridiculously slow. But once you get to 100 swim speed, you have 100% movement speed basically inside of the water. You effectively turn into Michael Phelps. And you can then get Sal on top of that, I believe. I believe that all stacks. Let's see. Leather. What else do we have? Let's put the Eclipse Cleaver up here. Okay, I think we're good. Fable hype. Yeah, that is a guild. That you're the guild leader, right? Incredible. I think you're the guild leader of that. I saw a guy with high. Yep. Good way to find out what servers to avoid based on. Yeah. Some people don't want to be a part of the P99 guild. What's your favorite race so far in the game? Ooh, that's a tough question, man. That's a tough one. I don't really have a favorite, necessarily. Like, I like different races for different reasons. Like, my favorite ability, my favorite racial ability is Wood Elves with their hide ability. I love that ability. It's awesome. I like the way that gnomes look. Like, I think gnomes are fun. I like the dwarf flip. I don't know. I don't really have a favorite. It's honestly refreshing to see such a wide variety of guilds. Yeah, you have all sorts of different types of guilds. Yeah, absolutely. I normally just pug and find people I like. I don't really care for the job application aspect guilds started to have. I mean, I'm used to that because I mean, even in EverQuest 1999, I was around the guilds that were, you know, hey, fill out our application. Like, fill out this application if you want to join our guild. And they would ask questions like, you know, how often do you play? You know, what your hours are. They would ask all sorts of crazy questions. And You know, totally understandable. What I think is ridiculous are the ones like OnlyFangs Guild in World of Warcraft. 2. 3. This one popped on the way back. But like the OnlyFangs Guild in World of Warcraft, it's like, come on, you know, like they're just ridiculous. But they're just a guild literally full of streamers, so eh. David Hasselhoff is the SpongeBob movie. Wait, what? What are we talking about? Gnomes, yeah, I like gnomes a lot. Goblin's Bribe can be, yeah, Goblin Bribe can be very useful, extremely useful, especially if you're like a rogue. It just gives you another way to clear your threat. Like, because yeah, Goblin. What's the cooldown on bribe? Is it 5 minutes? But yeah, if you can bribe somebody, like sap them and bribe them and just run away, you know, problem solved. First thing I did was bribe a guard, and it one-shot him, made for a good laugh. They can resist bribe, guys. At first, they couldn't. When they first added bribe, it was unresistible, I believe. But now you can resist it. I don't know how I feel about that. Should it be unresistible? I think the unresistible trait might be too strong. Because it's like a racial trait, and then nobody else can get that, you know? But, I don't know. OnlyFangs is the gamer streamer equivalent of Housewives of Jersey Shore. I live in South Carolina. What do they call that show that's based out of Charleston? When in fact, it is not based out of Charleston, which is the funniest thing. Like, that family's not even native to Charleston, which makes some people very angry. Like, I know this because I live in Charleston. But yeah, it makes some people very angry. Got 2 with the cook. Yeah, they actually live in Mount Pleasant. From my understanding, most of them live in Mount Pleasant. They don't even live in Charleston. It's a whole thing. Southern Charm. Yes, Southern Charm is the name of it. What is this camp called you guys are at? This would be the Pale Tower. Well, what we call the Pale Tower. I don't know what it actually is, but the reason is because of this giant tower right here. This giant phallus of a tower over here. I think if this thing was built in a real city, people would be like, that is an eyesore. But anyway, yeah, it's Pale Tower. No faction hit. There is a faction hit to the Pale Guards. What is it called? Let me see. I'll let you know exactly what it's called. The Pale. The faction is called The Pale. Come on. Come on. Lag spike. Anybody that says that Night Harbor is not laggy is out of their mind. Night Harbor is extremely laggy. Was a very short-lived saga of Tingles. Wait, what the heck? Pale Tower Bridge Camp, yeah. Let's see. Can melee solo in this game, or do you need to be a hybrid at least? No, I would say that some melee classes can solo. Specifically, the Beastmaster is very good at solo right now. Ranger can solo, although it's not going to melee to solo. It's going to kite, like range kite, snare kite, whatever. And then Shadow Knights can solo. They're okay at solo. They're not great, but they can solo. So yeah, there's melee classes that can definitely solo. I think that's a new sound for opening the gate. Did they add new sounds for the gate? You hear like a right at the very end, like a, and it's like the squeaking of a metal gate. I don't think I've ever heard that. Beastmaster's not a melee. It is a melee class. It's a melee class. Those are all hybrids in my. Well, I mean they're still melee. If then there only is one melee class in the game. Well, I guess there's what, fighters, monks, and rogues. Those are martial classes, I guess. But they melee? I don't know. I guess it depends on what you define as a melee class. All of those classes melee, though. They all have to be in melee range to do damage. So to me, they're melee classes. Are they hybrids? I mean, I guess. I don't like the whole hybrid thing. I think we need to get away from hybrid, the term hybrid, because hybrid assumes that it is the sum of two other classes. And in this game, I would prefer them to be their own unique thing. I think a Shadow Knight should not be a Necromancer fighter, for example. I don't like that. And I don't think that a Ranger should be a Druid fighter. No, let's make them more unique. So I try not to use the hybrid term. I say it sometimes, but I try not to use it. I don't like it. Rogue is trash at the moment. Yes, Rogue right now is trash, and no, it cannot solo. So if you're talking about pure melee classes that are not hybrids or anything like that, the fighter, the monk, and the rogue, no, none of those are good soloers. They're all three are pretty bad. The monk would probably be the best one, and it's not great. Would a dwarf race character need infravision for nighttime? How bad is dwarf vision? Oh, shoot. They won't. Oh, that one did aggro. So it's majority plus last hit. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. I think they need to change it. That's 100% correct. 60% of the time, it is 100% correct. Rogue needs help. I can't solo. Yeah, Rogue needs help for sure. You mean non-MP users? Yeah, those are the 3 non-MP users in the game, and none of them can solo very well. That is a true statement. Which is part of why I advocate the way that I advocate, complain, you know, whatever you want to call it, is because some classes in this game, got 2. Some classes in this game require a group to level up. 3. Require a group to level up, while other classes in the game can solo very well, and at the same time, soloing for some of those classes is much better than grouping. So that's our problem that we're running into, is if you play a really good solo class, you just want to solo. You go and join a group and you're going to be like, man, this group XP is terrible. If you play a non-solo class that requires a group, you're like, man, I can't find anybody to group with because all the good DPS are soloing. It's a problem. So yeah. Anyway, good afternoon, Slam Bits. How are you? How does Wizard solo? Just nuke or kite? A good wizard will quad kite. Quad kiting is really good in this game for wizards. Really, really good. I'm surprised we don't see a quad kiting solo wizard at higher level right now. I'm really, honestly surprised by that. We killed everything that I want to pull. Normally, we don't kill all of that. Later on, it sounds like wizard quad kiting. Is this bread and butter? It is, yeah, for soloing. Wizards right now are not great. They're not great in a party. They're okay. Like a well-played wizard can be okay in a party. But yeah, wizards are not great in a party. There we go. I knew the Pale Cook was spawning soon. If you solo, you have no friends at 50 plus. That's a bigger problem. Already seeing the solos around 50 LFG for hours. Yep, they are. One morning coffee, they are. Once you hit 50, I've been saying this for a while. Once you hit 50, the game becomes a lot more difficult. You're not going to be killing yellow mobs anymore. You're not going to be killing, you know, red mobs anymore. Especially with the changes to charm recently. You're not able to charm a red mob and then kill a red mob. So these level 50 players are slowing down considerably to the point where I have seen people hit level 50 and it's like a hell level to them. They don't, you know, I don't, it's like they don't know what to do with themselves or something. I don't know. But yeah, you need, in the higher levels, you definitely, a group is better. It is better. 2. Which is why, like, you know, I stick with my group. I've got a set static group. We play together. The XP is slower. When you have a party of 6, it is slower. But we're all going to level up together so that when we hit 50, we can continue to level and maintain that. A lot of people that are hitting level 50 right now, 51, 52, it slows down considerably. Although 51 through 59 are all hell levels. So they're very, very, you know, they're crazy. And they get worse and worse and worse every level. They take a long time. Probably because quadding is boring, no matter how good the XP is. It is boring, yeah. But so I think soloing is boring. I think soloing is very boring. But it is the best XP. For level 1 to 50, honestly, solo XP is still the best XP level 1 to 60. It's just more difficult to do at 50 plus. And they're going to make it harder. So I encourage that. I want them to make it super hard. I don't want people soloing easily up to level 60. Like, that should not be an easy thing to do. But if I had to solo level, what class would you recommend? Necromancer is probably so without the use of charm, right? Taking charm out of the picture. If you have a charm class, you can solo really, really well. Even after the nerfs to it. Without the use of charm, though, Necromancer is one of the top soloers. Beastmaster currently, although I think it's probably going to get nerfed a little bit. But Beastmaster is a top soloer. Elementalist, because they have pets. It makes it easier for them to solo. Archer right now is probably the top soloer in the game. Because of its kit. It can just kite things really well. It doesn't have Sal, so you does need to have Sal now with the recent changes to Caltrops. An Archer can't solo nearly as well without Sal, but with it can solo fairly well. That's really it. Those are kind of the top classes. So any charm class, Necromancer, Beastmaster, Elementalist, and Archer. Ranger can also solo fairly well, but not as well as the Ranger. But it does have its own Sal, so maybe it's better now. I don't know. I think grouping is more boring than soloing. You think so? I mean, I can see that too. Grouping can be very boring. I have a friend of mine who's playing a cleric, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, cleric is terrible." Opens a door. Yeah, as soon as people get on, we need to go somewhere else. This lag is already getting bad this morning. Yeah, it's fine. It will be fine for a little while, but... There you go. Yeah, he was doing something last night, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, I did, didn't I? Maybe he was XPing there. I don't know. Him and Andy might have been duoing over there or something. Yeah. I'd rather spend 2 hours soloing than 2 hours looking for a group. That's true. Yeah, that's the other side of that. Yeah, he was talking to me about it yesterday, and he kind of feels bad because he's like the only DPS for our group. And so he feels like he's like, if I'm gone, then the entire group falls apart. But at the same time, he's like, I don't want to not group with you guys, you know, because like, you know, we are kind of a team. So he feels bad soloing and not leveling people, but then he feels bad when he's grouping with us because he can't take any breaks. Like, I see it on both sides. But it's just the team we created here with 3 healers and, you know, a bard. Like, it just... We created a very bad group for beta. Yeah, I don't know why he chose Cleric. That was... I thought he was going to end up playing an Enchanter. Yeah, I did too. Two. Yeah, well... That's another topic. Yeah. There are no mobs below from where Cook is? No, there are, yeah. This tower right here, this tower goes way down, and then it goes all the way to the island over here. I just don't want to pull those, because if you go too much farther down, it's going to be multi-pulls. There's another name down there. Actually not very far from here. But right now we're killing the Cook, which is a pseudo-named. It drops an Eclipse Cleaver 100% of the time. And then we're also pulling the Lieutenant, which is a named spawn. At lower levels, people are worried about getting res, as they can grind back their loss in a short time. At 50 plus, clerics are going to be a lot busier with res requests. They are, yeah. Yeah, they aren't worried at lower levels, yeah. Yeah, like, our EA team is going to absolutely be better. Maybe, yeah. Or a shaman. Like, I want to have a cleric because we're going to need it at high level, but we need all 3 of them at some point. And that's really the problem, is which one do we want to level up? Like, which one is going to be the hardest to level up later, too? We could do that. So far, hard to find people in groups. No, it's not hard to find people in groups, but like, you could look. It's actually easy, you know. The social group finder. These groups are looking for group, right? So you got people in all level ranges, actually. Well, this is level 1 to 60, but and then you have all these people that are LFG. Like, it's not hard to find people to group with, depending on your level. In the range of level of your group. They are going to make the game more difficult, though. Have room for right now? I don't know. I don't know what we're doing right now. I think we're waiting for other people to get on, but I don't know. Level 45 is a hell level. It needs a lot more XP to hit 60. It does, yeah. That's... Oh, the fiery thing? Yeah. So that right there above my head, that right there, it's on fire because I'm at level 45, which is a hell level, and it's double XP is required. Non-critical group experience shortage on tanks or healers making groups. I don't know. You'd have to ask, the rest of the community about that. Like, what are you guys missing a lot of times in groups when you're trying to form a group? Are you guys missing tanks, healers, DPS? It's been impossible all weekend to find tanks. Yeah. That is always the issue. That's why I play tank. Well, part of the reason I play tank. Let's see what groups I've had. Had a Beastmaster, a Spellblade, tanking. Group breaks up. Yeah. 80% of tanks are going Shadow Knight so they can solo. I mean, yeah, I see that too. I've seen that. I saw a group the other day that didn't even have a tank. It was like an enchanter, a druid, I don't know. Bunch of classes, no tank. I was like, what? Weird. I've said it a bunch, and I'll repeat it again. At low level, everyone can tank, so finding tanks is not hard. As you get higher level, you're not going to have tanks because A, everybody can't tank. B, tanking is one of the most demanding jobs in a game like this. You got to stay on. You got to pay attention. You got to always be available. You can't really look away. You have to focus and be there. And it's, I don't know. It's bad. So it takes. I think it takes a special type of person to be a tank. I'm very special though. Help chat and myself understand this. All right, I'll read that in a second. Let me kill this. Alright, let's see. We know you prefer your groups in the mornings to be small, so the XP is high. And whenever anyone asks to join you, you never let anyone explain to chat why it is you don't want a group. Pugs. Help understand. Oh, so it's not that. It's not that. It's not that I don't want a group with pugs, but we created a set group. So as people log in, we are going to invite our set group people. So sometimes, like, I don't generally do any of the group stuff, like, because I'm streaming and I'm dealing with all that. I would just have a bunch of people constantly asking. I let Gith deal with that, or whoever else is, you know, running the group or whatever. So it's not that I don't want to group with pugs. I have no issues grouping with pugs, and we have grouped with several pugs. In fact, there's an enchanter that we've grouped with a couple times. There's a rogue we've grouped with a couple times. Yeah, I'll group with pugs all the time. But we don't want to... Buffs are fading. We don't want to invite somebody and then our friends log in that is part of our static group, and then we're going to feel bad. We don't have a spot for our friend, and we don't want to kick somebody out, so then we're stuck in a situation, right? We're stuck in like a no-win situation at that point. So it's literally not that I don't want to group with people. Lately, we have had one spot available in our party, which is a 6 spot, and we probably need to add it with DPS, to be honest. Like, we need to put a DPS in that spot. So hopefully that helps out a little bit. Like, I'm not trying to be mean to anybody, and I'm not trying to not group with people and all of that. We just have a set group, and we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, whether they're in our group or not in our group. But yes, you do get more XP if you're in a smaller group. In the mornings, usually it's like just me and Gith. On the weekdays, just the two of us, we get more XP in like 2 hours than my full party of 6 gets in like 6 hours. It's bad. The group XP is terrible compared to small group XP. So yeah, who you group with does matter. Let's see. Yeah, who you group with absolutely does matter as well. Yeah, the why is important. Yeah, I would probably go Pally if they got first res in the 20s, even if a crappy one. And play a dwarf. You're a dwarf paladin? You could. You could. I almost played a paladin in beta. I was saying that I was going to play a paladin in beta, but then I tried out the paladin, and I tried out, you know, several classes and looked into them and stuff. I just don't like the way that the other tanks play. And I needed to be a tank, so I was like, well, fighter it is. What's the difference from early access to official release? How long is EA? We don't know how long EA is going to be, but the difference is just going to be how much content there is. Early access is going to have about 20% of the game. By 1.0, it's going to have 100% of what they want for 1.0. So over the course of early access, they're going to be slowly adding in content, adding in new features, you know, all of that, and eventually get to where they want it to be at 1.0, which is over 100 zones. So at the start of early access, they're going to have about 25 zones, and then 1.0 is going to have over 100. So throughout early access, they're just going to be adding in a lot of new stuff. Or you get stuck with pug healers that don't heal. Ask me how I know. Static groups all the way. Yeah, that's another issue. Yeah. Another issue is you get stuck in a group and then you feel bad for leaving. You know, I'm not saying that I don't like pug groups, and I will actually on my secondary characters. So I'm going to be leveling very quickly to 60 when early access comes out with my static group. That is our goal. And I would not be grouping with a lot of people during that. But on alt characters, absolutely, yeah, I'll group with pugs all day. It doesn't bother me at all. I like doing it. It's fun. Good morning, Devin. How are you? Gammy pulled for your group? Nice, yeah. See, we group with other people. You just don't see it very often. I'm streaming. But we group with other people. Perfect argument for allowing classes to solo. Just shouldn't be as much XP as grouping. Yes, Thor, I agree with that statement. Absolutely agree with that statement. 100%. Yeah, I think that soloing should be viable, but not as good as group XP. But that's just me. I mean, other people think, no, soloing should be as good as group XP. And I disagree for a lot of reasons. My main reason that I disagree with that is because it is much more difficult to maintain a party of 6. Much more difficult. So I think it should be better. And with a full party of 6, you have 6 other people or 5 other people that you have to, deal with. Somebody goes AFK, somebody goes to the bathroom or whatever reason they got to get up. Now the whole group has to stop and wait for that person. If you're by yourself, it's just you. Just you. The only reason you stop is because you stop. I played a wizard on the second EQTLP server I tried. Wizards have horrible time getting a group because they're so bad experience. Yeah, they're very bad in group experience. Just going AFK and leeching. Have to play that much better to overcome that. Yep, absolutely. Fighters in SK should be able to, how cute the paladin is trying to hurt something. Bless this little something damage. I mean, that is true, but paladins have, heals and stuff. So like you can almost not have a healer in your party with a paladin. If you have fast enough DPS, you can play a paladin, burn something down in your group, right? Burn it down quickly, heal yourself back up, pull the next mob, rinse and repeat. You just need to have mana regen. Yeah, that's got to be placed perfectly. That's right. We got like 15 minutes or 13 minutes, I think, on mine. All right, we could move it and then, I guess. But yeah, that's kind of the thing too. Like, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings by not pugging and not putting everybody in my group, but you also have to think about it this way. If I just say, yeah, everybody's welcome in my group, then anytime somebody asks, if I don't put them in my group, then they're going to be like, why aren't you putting me in your group? Now I'm going to be like, well, because you're not a good player, Like I could put you in my group today, and then tomorrow you'll have a spot, and I'm like, no, we're okay. We don't want to put... Well, why aren't you putting my group today? Now I got to explain that, right? So it's a tough situation. It's a tough situation. Then I get in the situation where the other streamer got into, where they weren't getting good XP. They didn't feel, for whatever reason, they weren't enjoying that group experience. They left, and they get flamed on Reddit for whatever, right? I'm already getting flamed enough. People don't like me enough for whining, complaining. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Danged if you do, danged if you don't. You know what I mean? Do you have to add herbs manually each time you grind powder? No, you do not. Do you need, if you want me to, I can show you. I mean, I've got it up here. I'll show you. So what you do is on any of the trade skills, we'll do the mortar and pestle because you're asking specifically about that. So put the mortar and pestle in here. You open it up. Right here on the side of it, that little hammer, you click on that. Find the powder that you want, that you can grind. Click on it, and it adds in automatically from your inventory if you have some in your inventory. And then you just hit grind, and there you go. Yep, no worries. Not sure Pally gets heals, plus heals from wisdom. Everybody gets plus heals from wisdom. So yeah, if you heal, if you cast a heal spell, you get a bonus based on your wisdom. It's not much of a bonus though. I think they need to up that a little bit. I think they do, but I mean, I don't know what their internal testing and everything shows. But it seems to me like right now it's about 1% increase per 20 of a stat. So 20 intelligence or 20 wisdom increases a stat by 1%. I personally think that should be maybe every 10 should be 1%. But the problem with that is on the high end. Let's say you get to 200 intelligence. That's a 20% increase. That might be too much on the high end. So it feels really bad on the low end, but it feels better on the high end. If you get 200 intelligence, right now you would have a 20% or 10% increase in your damage at level, let's say 60. That's a decent amount of damage increase. Decent amount. So I think they're trying to figure out the middle ground there. How does troll regeneration trait work? Is it in game? It's not in game yet. It's probably just going to give them like a +1 or +2 health regen. It's probably going to be based on level, honestly. So like level 1, it'll be like a +1 health regen. Level 10, it might be like a +2 or something. It'll probably be every 20 levels, you're going to get another +1. Otherwise, it'll be too strong. So to be like level 1, you get a +1, which is going to be really strong at level 1. But you can get those levels pretty quickly. By level 60, you'll have a +3 health regen, which is good. It's, but it's not going to be like overpowered good. Have you heard Pally's really good higher level for removing damage shields? Yes, they are. Paladins are the only class in the game that can remove a damage shield with one spell. Very, very good. Very powerful ability. They can do a curve, first 100 points. Yeah, they could do it that way too, Goonie. Yeah, they could do a curve. How viable do you think it would be to build a wisdom suit for Pally and play as a healer? Not viable at all. Yeah, I would not play a healer as a paladin. Paladins can heal, and they also have lay on hands. They also have their ancient guardian, both of them on long cooldowns. And they get the same healer that all the healers get, so the same heal at level 50 that other healers get at level 36. And there's no higher level heal. It's exceptional heal. They don't get a higher one at any point from level 36 on. But they do get additional of their class-specific heals that paladins don't get. So that's why healers are better healers overall. I drank too much water. I already have to go to the bathroom again. Drink that entire, chugged that bottle of water earlier. I really want to play Day 1 Early Access, and I really want to play in Wizard. I'm going to be a Deep Gnome Wizard, but no Deep Gnome in Early Access. You know what? What shall you do? I don't know. That's a tough one. I would play a non-wizard class or a non-caster, like int caster class during the beginning of Early Access. Play that for like 3 months until Deep Gnomes come out, and then once Deep Gnome come out, make an alt wizard. I mean, if you really want to play an Early Access and you also really want to play a Deep Gnome wizard, that's probably your best bet. Would it be a reset after Early Access is over? Yes. 100% there is going to be a reset. No. After Early Access is over? Sorry. After Beta is over, yes, for the start of Early Access. Once Early Access starts, the game is live. That's it. Every character is going to stay from that point on. They're only going to do any sort of wipe if they absolutely have to. But most likely it'll just be like rollbacks. Like, worst case scenario, you're going to see a rollback in that situation. Just play a druid like everyone else until Deep Gnome comes out. You could do that too, yeah. That is an option. How much do you generally hit for in melee? I pulled that up yesterday. I can do it again. Give me a second. I'll pull it up. Let me get this very laggy guard to come over here. It's extremely laggy guard. I don't know if you guys can read that. We're hitting her 40s, 20s, 10, 30, 73 crit. Boom. 21. This also show you guys how often crits happen, right? People keep talking about, oh, fighters get crits. They're amazing damage. They're the best in the game. Top 3 DPS class. I've crit once. I mean, it was a good crit. I can also crit for 1 damage or like 3 damage or something. It's a really low amount. I promise you that fighter crits are not all they're cracked up to be. Yeah, we're hitting from like 11 is my low, 10, 11s. There's a 1 right there. I pierce for 1 damage. 43 normal hit. Still only 1 crit. This entire time, 1 crit. It is not amazing. Oh, there's my second crit for 13 damage. There's a normal crit. It was less than the average normal hit crit. Yeah. It's so funny. Oh my gosh, I got the hiccups. It's so funny to me when I say that fighter DPS isn't what people think it is. And they're like, what, you have crits? You can critical hit. This is not World of Warcraft. This is not Diablo, where, a crit damage exponentially gets higher and higher and higher. This is not that. Yeah, Nerf Warriors. Oh my god, look how much damage he's doing. I mean, they do. I'll admit, fighters do decent damage for a tank. Right? They're doing pretty good damage for a tank. But let's compare to the charmed monster we had all day yesterday. I'm hitting for... Oh, there's 2 crits back to back. Wow. Man, that's amazing. I'm hitting, for average of like 30 damage a hit. Yesterday, our charmed pet was hitting for an average of about 80 to 90 damage per hit. It's 3 times more damage than me. Like, hello. Telling you guys, I'm not wrong. You may disagree with me, but you can't tell me I'm wrong. That's nutty. It's super nutty. Top 3 solo classes. I'm thinking about Ranger. It's not top 3, no. Charm classes would be number 1. And then after that would be probably Archer, Beastmaster, Wizard, Elementalist. 3 minutes. What, underneath the bridge? Alright, I can do that real quick while you run to the restroom. Will you keep falling, or can you stop and wait? Any news of changes for Spellblade? Yeah, Spellblade is getting some stuff. Not a lot, but Spellblade is getting some things soon. It needs more like active abilities. I think it's getting a little bit of love. Currently, Nick, which is the itemization dev, currently he's working on Beastmaster, Spellblade, and Ranger. So they're all getting some things. One for charm if they just put a flat percentage drop on the pet damage. Yeah, they don't want to. They're trying to not do that, Rabbit. That's the idea anyway. That's why they're trying to adjust it in other ways. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But they're trying to not nerf the damage of pets, but make it more risky to charm a pet. What is SBD? I assumed you were talking about the Spellblade. We're trying to see if we can get sheltered here. Get the fire and shelter. I can't get it here. Yeah, I think I'm too fat. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick while we try this. Be right back. Alright, give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna use the restroom again. I drank way too much water. Not a back. Made me fall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Perfect. I'm super tiny. Got a shade from the tree, or sheltered from the tree, I guess. If they don't nerf charm, I gotta see. I see that bard constantly with a weapon out. Do they not dual wield? They always have an instrument out. So, they can do both. An instrument or have a weapon. Gam, however, if you look at, well, I can't inspect him for some reason. He has a weapon in his offhand that is also an instrument. It's like a charm, or not a charm. It's a dagger that has wind instrument, I think, on it or something. But anyway, they don't have to have an instrument out. It just increases their... It increases their spell effects, or supposed to. I think they're still working on that. Wait, the rain stopped anyway. Yeah, right on the tree. Yeah, you just have to find trees that are like hanging over like that. That other tree will probably do it too. The one that's leaning to the right. They do. Any tree, as long as there's something above your head, you get sheltered. A dagger wind instrument seems kind of dangerous for a musician. Yeah, it's kind of like it's like a flute, you know? But it does seem very, yes, I agree. Hello. Back of the car.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I need to go unload the car real quick. They got some heavy stuff they're coming back with. So give me just a minute. All right, be right back. Okay. You guys ready? Yeah, I just had to get something out of the car. Oh, is Isar there? Yeah, he's okay. Alrighty. Have a beautiful day. A reminder. Yeah, yeah. No key. Oh, man. Ouch. Your name is perfect for that. Ouch. Self-inflicted pain. It is. It is. Oh no. Okay, good. We still won. We beat the guards at their own game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, 2 ink. Nope, 3, 4, 5, I don't know. A bunch. Oh, man. I think Andy or Stein should be on before too long, probably. He might be on now. Nope, he's not on yet. How many people are on? Who all? 519 people on. Yeah, he probably did. Out of the entire server, half of them are in Night Harbor. Like half the servers in one zone. I'll be fine. Do 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 do. Man, Debs, can we reset Night Harbor, please? This is getting crazy. Look at this. Like, this mob's not even coming. I don't know what's going on with Night Harbor. I don't get it. Like, it's so stinking laggy. Only 200 people, 239 people here. I mean, which is, you know, it's a decent amount, but they've had 1,000 people in Night Harbor and it hasn't been this bad. Yeah, it's super laggy at the moment. We'll see if they move. Just in time. There's also at the bins. It's bad. Well, yeah, it's just part of Night Harbor. The bins is part of Night Harbor. Probably stuff they're working on the servers, testing, trying to fix memory leak issues. Yeah. Fix something and breaks another. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Yeah, one thing fixes, one thing breaks. I think partly what causes the lag here are the guards trying to fight other NPCs. Like, you know, those constant trains. Yeah. Probably doesn't help. People are killing guards and mobs inside and piling up corpses. Yeah. All of that stuff just like stacked on top of each other is causing a lot of lag. Crazy amounts of lag. Opens the door. I swear, man, stuns from the back are so stinking common. I mean, I guess it's a good thing. But that daze from the back is just like, what the heck? Oh, shoot, shoot. That might be too close. Nope, no, it was just a pet, so we worked out. You're breaking the game, you're so good? No. Yeah, I think part of what we're doing is definitely causing issues. This is something that I think that they might need to fix and look at, you know? Being able to train guards, I don't know, it's good and bad. I like the idea that you can train guards. If you get too many mobs, you train the guards and they help you fight and all that kind of stuff. But then at higher level, people are using the guards to help them kill named mobs. You know, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It's kind of a mixed bag.